Okay, I'm going to start the sailor's cap, and I'm going to do the floppy hat at the same time. I've spent the morning playing with paper trying to get the angles right on here. So let me show you what I've been playing with. Okay, this is the sailor's hat. Okay, so if you notice on the sailor's hat, this inside brim part of this is just a slight angle. You just have a slight angle. But say you want to make a floppy hat like this one over here, you're going to change your angle of your floppy hat so it's more like a compass wheel. See how that is almost that compass, just like that? I don't know if you can see it like that. But when you do that and you make a really tight circle, you're going to get the floppy hat effect. Whereas a straight line like this will give you more of the sailor's cap. So let's just say you wanted to make like a cloche, and you want this. It doesn't swing out as much as you want it to. You want it to swing out even further than the sailor's cap does. So what you want to do is you want to go somewhere in between these two. See how this is such a tight circle? So you're going to want to probably bring this circle in. You're going to go the same width here. This is about 6 3/8 of an inch line. You're going to keep the same line width, but you're going to come in probably something like this as your diameter. Okay, so you're going to bring in your, well, that's almost the same. You're going to bring in this, I can't do this without anything to press on. You're going to bring in your arch, and that will give you more of a, the tighter your arch, the more flare you're going to get on your hat. So you're going to want to do something like this. Okay, so keep here and then come out here. And then of course you're going to come back to 2 1/4. You're going to change your 2 1/4 down like this. So that'll give you, in other words, the more you tighten up that angle, the higher your flare will just keep coming more and more like this. So here's my floppy. This is a 2 1/4 inch brim. So if I do a 2 1/4 floppy inch on here, I'm going to use the same cap part, the same base up here, but I'm going to have a floppy hat. That's the only difference. So the more your angle is, the more your flare is going to be. So see how if I change this flare a little bit, I don't get as much of an angle. I get more of a close look. If I want the Darth Vader helmet, I'd do the same thing here. I'd just go tight in the front and give myself an arch in the back. I mean, there's just so many things you can do, and it's just a matter of using whatever arch you have. Okay, so here's the sailor's cap. You're going to use 5 diamonds each. I made a mess here this morning. The diamonds are like this. You're going to have 5 of them, and you're going to sew them together. You're going to sew them up to a point, 1/4 of an inch from the top. Okay, just like that. And you're going to sew them. We'll do it after. I'll cut some out and we'll do it on camera. But you're going to cut out 5 for the outside, and then you're going to cut out 5 for the inside. So depending on how you want to do your lining, this could be completely different fabric than the outside. You can put multicolors here. You can, you name it. You can do anything you want on these caps. It can be anything you want them to be. You can have a different brim. Now, one thing you got to know is if you are going to want to put a band around your hat, you're going to want to tilt your fabric. Put an arch in your fabric, almost the same arch as you did on the cap. Otherwise, it's not going to lay flat. So you want your arch to lay flat. So you're going to turn your fabric so it's got a little arch in it too. So it will lay flat on your hat if you want to put a band on it. Because up and down it'll just not look nice. It'll just be sticking up all over, and you don't want that. So if you do that, then what I mean is instead of going straight like this, you're going to want to arch your band so it looks nice. This I did for a headband, so I didn't even use it for the hat. I thought of it later. But another thing you want to do is you probably want to line your back seam up to how you want it to be on the doll. So if you want the doll to have a line down the center like this, say this was white and red, white, green, whatever, red, white, blue, whatever you want it to be. If you want this multicolor around here, you're going to decide, do you want the two colors here, or do you want the main color here and have a different color on each side? It's up to you. But one thing I did that I didn't like is I centered it. I thought, well, I'll just center it down the middle. And I didn't even think of what the result on the other side was going to be. So when I turn it, now I've got that line right down the middle, and I think on the plain colors it looks better when you have that one in the middle. But you know, that's just personal preference. As far as this line of sewing goes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of sewing. You can do as many as you want. I put 7 in here. I'm not sure about the floppy, but these hats are made exactly the same way. The only difference I did on this one is I didn't do any top stitching on here. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to use the different, this hat is too floppy on top. This is my old pattern, so that's why I fixed this one too. So I'm going to make another floppy. So this one I did top stitching on. See how the top stitching is? I did top stitching on each row of these. I didn't do any top stitching. I doubt if you can see it on camera, but if you can. So it depends on what look you want. If you want a really nice look, a finished look, you can do the top stitching. If you like the softer look without the top stitching, it's just up to you, whatever you want to do. This is all hand stitched. You just make another cap, put it down, turn it under 1/4 of an inch, and just top stitch it. You can put a line of sewing here if you want to, but if you are going to do that, I would start my lines of stitching from that first row of stitching and go that away. At least you'll get it even set if you do it like that. But anyway, so I'm going to cut out. If you're going to do everything the same, you're going to need 10 of these, and you're going to need 2 brims. So I'll find some fabric and we'll cut out a couple. I'll cut out one for the another sailor's cap, and then I'll cut out one for the floppy hat, and then we'll get started from there. But these things are so nice. You can turn them any angle you want them to be, and make them look anything you want them to look, however you want them to look, any way you want. There's just so many things you can do. You can make them regular sailor's cap. See, so you can just do anything you want on these things. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and get some fabric cut out, and then we'll come back and we'll start sewing these up. Okay, I'll be right back.